Good evening, Marana High School families. We are so grateful you're here with us this evening for our annual open house. I am Caitlin Kaufman, and I am the very proud new principal of Marana High School. I am excited to return to Marana High School after spending 3 years here as an associate principal, and then the last 2 years at Gladden Farms Elementary School as the principal. It feels like coming home to be here. I'm excited to continue to serve Gladden families while serving the whole entire Marana community. I want to introduce our administrative team. We have Mr. Roram, who's in charge of educational services. We have Mr. Villanueva, who's in charge of operations and athletics, Mrs. Nakarati, and Mrs. Pacina, who are in charge of student services. And so you'll hear from them shortly. This is not our typical venue for our welcome for open house, but I do want to explain why we're doing it this way. We want to have everyone here, but we have grown so much as a school and we no longer fit all of our families in our auditorium. We want to make sure that you can get information, get to know us, but also are able to get in and out and get to your students' classes and meet their teachers, because that's why we're all here this evening. And so please understand, we're excited to have the Pride of Marana, our marching band, playing for us. Our PTO is here, our student council is here. A lot of things are the same, but please know that from the bottom of our hearts, we want to be all together, but we just don't fit. So we're happy to see you over the screen. We have 3 shared responsibilities as Marana High School Tigers. And the first one is that we're proud to be Tigers. And that comes with cleaning up after ourselves, trying our hardest in our classes, really working to revise our work and grow as learners. We're planning for we're learning for transfer. So making sure that students taking the information in the classes now and transferring them into their next classes, into their career, into college, and supporting their learning all through their lives. And then finally, planning for what's next. And being proud to be a Tiger and learning for transfer helps us to plan for what's next. That's next in high school or next after high school. And so we're always working on planning for what is next. We do have 3 school-wide expectations here at Marana High School. We ask our students to be responsible, respectful, and safe, and students do get these Tiger tickets. So this is an example of what our students see in our announcements. Students can turn in our Tiger tickets to earn things like prom tickets, swag, yearbooks. Those are turned in the bookstore, and we try to catch our students doing the right thing and shout them out for doing that. And we're really proud of our students. And believe it or not, our students love this, and we're excited. So I'm going to pass it along to Mr. Roram for Educational Services so he can share some information about our counseling office and more.
Yeah, good evening, Tiger parents. So I'm Mr. Roram. This is my 7th year here at the high school, and I am over educational services at this point. So my office is up here in the counseling office, the Ed Service Department. And a couple things that I thought would be important for you guys to know that come out of educational services. The first is sort of our philosophy that we started just actually last year when it was initiated, our grading and assessment practices. Our focus, oh, don't worry about that, Ms. Kaufman. So our focus is really looking at how do we help our students be literate? How do we increase their literacy skills? This is something that is a school and a district focus that we are going to be looking at this year. How are we utilizing student feedback and actually teacher feedback and your feedback? If you haven't seen these on campus yet, you might see some QR codes where we ask for some of your feedback and really looking at what are we doing well and how do we improve in what we're doing. Also, opportunities to demonstrate growth and mastery in the content area that they're focusing in, and then utilizing common assessment so that no matter which teacher a student has, that if they're in Algebra 1 or they're in sophomore English, that they are being assessed and graded on the specific standards that the state requires. So looking into that idea of growth and mastery and common assessments, as we look forward to how we assess our students, a year ago, we developed with a committee of parents, with students and with staff, this, which is something that we've shared with our staff before last year, which is really how do we assess our students and what is the requirements that we ask of our teachers and our students in terms of demonstrating their mastery. Some things that I think is important for you to know about this. So number 1, right in the top middle, it talks about feedback. We want our students to be engaged with their teachers in a process of continual feedback about what should they know, where are they in terms of that knowledge, and that feedback that teachers provide students, they can utilize that feedback to revise anything that they need to revise and to turn anything in that demonstrates not the level that we want to see. All of those things that go into a grade book do have to be backed up by a rubric. So when we have our teachers grade and assess, there's a rubric that goes along with that, and that rubric is shared amongst the collaborative teams that share that same content. And then those letter grades that you see, those letter grades should be all backed up by what those rubrics are asking our students to show and what we say is mastery. And as long as they're hitting that, then that is where their letter grades are going to be lining up. If you have questions about grades, if you have questions about how your student is being graded or assessed, that is a question I'd like you to start with the teachers with and have conversations with our teachers. And then if you have further questions, you can always reach out to me. So next up, we do have opportunities for students to get additional help on our campus. And so that is tutoring that would be occurring after school. Our tutoring starts once the buses all leave. We have certain teachers that are available for tutoring, and they're available all until 5:45 when our buses start to get ready for the late 6 p.m. bus. We do have really 3 areas where students can come: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to get extra help, and that is in math, in general tutoring, some general tutoring with English focus, and then our ESS, Exceptional Services Department, as specific tutoring. It is open to any student. So if you have a conversation with your kid and they say, I'm just struggling, you can remind them that, hey, every day Marana High School offers tutoring for you. And then the next one, we have 2 big things coming up that is really important for you to understand. Number one is ASVAB testing is occurring in pretty much a month from now. And ASVAB is a great test for any student, grades 10 through 12, to take, which gives them sort of a sense of where they might land in future careers and what skills that they have that might match up with future careers. They have received information from Dr. Vanderplu about that. I encourage you to have a conversation with them. The last one is PSATs are coming up. Your student has been getting information about PSATs. Myself and Mr. Pisetsky are going into classrooms to talk about PSATs. This is an amazing opportunity for your student to kind of see where they're at in terms of their knowledge for SATs, which are college entrance exams. And also it can open up all sorts of scholarship opportunities. There's some information that you should know. It's going to be on Tuesday, October 25th. They do need to pay $20 ahead of time, and that's really due by September 9th. That needs to be done in the bookstore. And if they have any questions, they can go into their ECAP Google Counseling classroom, or they can see Mr. Pisetsky, or they can come see me in the Ed Services office. All right, so next up is Mr. Villanueva, our athletic director and in charge of operations.
Hi, Tiger families. My name is Mr. Rob Villanueva. I am the athletic director and also, like Mr. Roram said, in charge of operations. This is my 2nd year here, and we're off to a great start off with this school year. So with athletics, all of our fall sports are in full effect. We have more students participating in sports than we had last year, and that's really huge numbers. That's great to see because families are out and the kids are out and they love to be out playing sports. A new policy for this year, and this is going to run all school year. So it's going to be for registration. All fees and paperwork must be paid and completed after the first week of the season begins. If the paperwork's not turned in, the physicals aren't turned in, or the fees aren't paid after that first week, student athletes will not be able to practice or play in any kind of game. So make sure that we stay on top of that. That is a new policy that we're going to implement from here on forward. So for operations, just want to let you guys know our students have been doing an amazing job in helping keep our school clean through Beautify MHS. There's been a big effort. If you're walking around our campuses, you're going to see our cafeteria areas, our outdoor table areas, our hallways looking nice and clean. So it's been a nice, refreshing change because students are really putting a great effort into that. We've also had some of our groups come out. We've had football, volleyball, student council members, and other groups help out in helping keep this school clean. So we're very excited about that. And this has really brought about that Tiger pride on our campus. So it's kind of nice to walk around and people feel that sense of like, wow, we're doing something to make our school look great. With safety, this year, all of our staff have attended a beginning of the year training that we had. It went really, really well implementing our new policies that we have here at the school. We also have a safety committee that meets twice a semester here. So we'll be having our first meeting very soon. And we talk about everything that's going on campus and within the safety protocol. Also, one of our new things that we're implementing this year is all of us are wearing our name tags. All staff, all adults, as you can see it, we all have our name tags. So anytime there's an adult that's on campus and they're not wearing it, we've encouraged our students, we've encouraged our staff to actually talk to that person and ask if they were here. I actually caught not caught. One person had a name tag that fell off, but wasn't wearing it visibly. And I went up to him and just asked him, "Hey, where are you supposed to be on campus?" And he's like, "Yeah, I signed in at the attendance office, but my name tag must have fell off." I called the attendance office, and sure enough, so we got him to where he needed to be. So we're really working hard to make sure our campus is nice and safe. And now I'm going to pass you along to Miss Nakarati and Miss Pacina.
Hello. We're gonna start with me. I am Sheila Nakarati. I have been a proud Tiger for 7 years as well, and I'm excited. This is my 3rd year as an administrator. And with Mrs. Pacina and I, we are doing student services, working on that safe, supportive, and collaborative school culture that we have happening. Miss Pacina.
Hello, and welcome to Marana High School. I'm also in my 3rd year of being administrator at Marana High School. However, I am a proud alumni, and so my heart's always been here.
All right. So part of our safe and collaborative environment and culture that we have is we do have some new policies and some new stuff that we have. I'm sure you've heard from your students in order to make sure that we are being supportive. And one of our main supports that we have is our Chromebook help desk. If you're having any sort of Chromebook problem, your student is having a Chromebook problem or instructional technology problem, there is this Chromebook help desk. The Chromebook help desk is open from 8:30 to 4, Monday through Thursday, and then 8:30 to 3 on Friday, and closed for lunch from 1 to 2. Make sure the students are signing out with SmartPass. The help desk is located in the library. And if the student needs their Chromebook charged at school, they can go and turn in their Chromebook to get it charged and get a loaner for that period so that we can ensure that they are ready to learn.
All right, and just to piggyback off that, in order to make sure that our students are being respectful, responsible, and safe at school, we do have some after-school expectations, that we have lots of great things for kids to stay after school for. So many great things. We have tutoring, as Mr. Roram had mentioned. It is 4 days a week. It starts this next Monday. We have lots of sports always going on. We have, I think, 70, 80 some clubs that we have running on campus that might be running after school. We will be starting after school detention as kind of a preventative of giving schools in-school suspension or out-of-school suspension. We want to make sure that they stay in classes. And so that's kind of an option that might be given. And then any teacher request, if a teacher would like a student to stay after school to possibly make up a test, make up an assignment, they are welcome to stay with that teacher. What we do ask is that all students are supervised by an adult on campus until 5:45 p.m. That would mean that by about 3:40 to 5:45, the kids would be in a supervised area with an adult at 5:45. They're welcome to go catch the activity bus that leaves at 6 o'clock sharp.
All right, and sticking with our safety mantra here, we are going to continue on with those student IDs. So not only do we like to see our teachers and staff carrying our student IDs, but we need to have our students carry their IDs. And this has been something that's been a bit of a shift, but they need to be carrying their student IDs at all times. They needed to have to go to the bookstore to buy any snacks or drinks. They need it for dances. We need it for SmartPass in the hallways. If students were going to hear about our tardy policy, we're going to need it for our kiosks for our tardies. Seniors or juniors that leave early in the day, they need to have it for their early release. And then as well as at lunch, they need to have those student IDs. So there's lots of reasons why they need to have them. So make sure that they make sure that they have their IDs daily as well.
Okay, so we have some tardy expectations of getting to class on time, every single class, every single day. We really want to increase the instructional minutes of students learning. And so we've given a little extra time in between classes so students have plenty of time to get to all of their classes. The expectation is to be in your class, in your seat, ready to learn. The students might get a first or second warning as a warning. After that, they can get some discipline. And we really just want to make sure that kids understand to get to class on time. So part of our tardy policy is if they arrive in after the bell and the bell has rang, the teacher is going to say, please go see Ms. Billy Villa in the student services or one of us administrators. We're going to write them a pass and get them back to class as soon as we can. We will be documenting the passes and the tardies. Ultimately, the kids have been phenomenal. They are all getting to
You've been
class
doing
on time.
great.
They're doing amazing right now. So
Yeah.
this is just preventative in order to make sure that they get more instructional minutes. After 3 tardies in the same class during the quarter, they might be getting a lunch detention. And that's just to kind of give a little warning. If they continue to be tardy, we are opening up after school detention because once again, we want to focus on instructional minutes and kids getting the best learning. So they might be staying after school for a few hours to kind of get them to class.
And remember, first period does count. I know it's hard to get up in the morning. Trust me. All right. Also looking at that safe and supportive environment, we really want to support our teachers and our students in their learning. And one of the ways to do that, we all know we can't be doing 2 things at once. And so we've had a lot of instructional time lost to cell phone and earbud. So we want to make sure our students are learning when they have that opportunity in class. And so we have started that all cell phones and earbuds must be put away in all their classes. And the kids have been doing awesome. Failure to do so can have these disciplinary consequences up to the devices being removed by administration. The teacher will call, there will be calls home, and then the student can be sent up here to the office where we have actually a locker system where we lock up their cell phones to ensure that they are kept safe, but that students also are kept learning, and that's our #1 goal.
All right. One more thing that we have that's new this year is Smart Pass. Some of you parents might kind of know a little bit about this from Marana Middle School. We are also implementing this. It is a way for kids for us to know where all the kids are at all times. It is to make sure that we are safe. Once again, it is a student's responsibility to ask the teacher for permission. The student will go on their Chromebook, go ahead and set up a pass that will give them a certain amount of time to go to their destination. They are expected to go to their destination and come right back. Not doing it during instructional time. So once again, they are getting those minutes and they are getting the instruction that they need. And that is some things that we definitely will monitor.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
sorry. Families, we're so excited that you are here this evening. We want to thank you again for your time, for learning some of the things that we've changed at Marana High School with the #1 focus of safety and ensuring our students feel safe and supported. You will follow your child's bell schedule for the rest of the evening. So starting today or this evening with first period right after this video, spending 10 minutes, and then you will get to experience the new 7-minute passing period. And we hope you have a great evening. We hope you stop by and visit PTO, student council, enjoy our band. And thank you again for coming. Thank you for supporting our students. We appreciate you and have a great evening.
Thank
Please
you.
say to us in the comments.